riots have now spilled over to Belgium, to Switzerland. We're looking at something far deeper than something that was triggered by just a young boy's death. Not that I'm demeaning that in any way.
So, the very fact that it spread to places like Réunion in the Indian Ocean or French Guiana in South America shows you that there is some kind of underlying social tension as well out there. Now, what we need to understand first of all is, this kind of rioting isn't new to France. France rioting is almost some kind of a national hobby out there. This is a country which, in the last 240 years, has executed its nobility, its king, its queen. They've had three empires and four republics. They come out and riot for everything: for bread prices, for pension plans, for reducing, for increasing work hours, for increasing the retirement age, for insufficient agricultural subsidies, etc., etc., etc. You've had the yellow shirts going around doing things for the last two, three, four, God knows how long. And these kind of riots aren't particularly new in France. They keep happening in France. So it's very important that we give this a bit of historical perspective. And a lot of the things, I'm seeing a lot of commentators who should really know better going about saying, oh, the French Republic has fallen, the Fourth Republic has fallen. And I'm like, dude, rioting is more French than wine and cheese. Rioting is a bigger institution than the Louvre. Rioting is more quintessentially French than Asterix and Obelix comics. It's
Are we mixing rioting or revolting?
is there a difference? Is there a difference? I mean, revolting involves a bit of rioting, doesn't it? Uh,
I guess it
right.
does.
But this is one aspect to it. They're a very cantankerous country, because remember that there hasn't been a single republic in which there hasn't been a coup attempt, sometimes successful and sometimes not, against the government. Uh, However, that said, I don't think anything's going to change in France, because let's look at what the root causes here are. France is very good with its social security programs. You get a very generous
Mm.
dole. You're guaranteed housing, and these aren't slums by any chance. These are, Le Corbusier buildings in India, allegedly the most beautiful city. I think it's grotesquely ugly, but is this town called Chandigarh, built by an architect called Le Corbusier, who people sing praises to, but I think was, a visual sadist of unparalleled proportions. But you then have this whole thing about where your health system in France is probably one of the best in the world, right? And everybody has universal access to it. You can't be denied medical treatment in France under any circumstances. They are obligated to find you the best treatment possible. It's not like India, where rural schools are non existent. You have extremely good schools, and the school system there is very, very strict. You have in the UK, you have this headmistress who goes by the strictest teacher around, Catherine Birbal Singh. Well, French teachers make Catherine Birbal Singh look like a liberal, because all their homework needs to go back, get signed, sent back. The parents are meant to be involved in things like that. They believe in equality of input, not equality of output. So when you've got housing, you've got the dole, you'll never be destitute, you will get excellent healthcare no matter what, and excellent schools. What's your excuse for being economically backward? Why is it that Indian, or rather French citizens of Indian origin, don't go around rioting and are extremely well off? Why is it that Vietnamese and French citizens? Now, I can tell you, Indians are a lot darker than North Africans. North Africans could pass off
Yes.
as Italian or Greek or anything like that. Uh,
Yes.
How is it that they're discriminated against, but much darker Indians from Pondicherry are not? How is it that the Chinese and
Mm.
Vietnamese, who are much more different looking from native Gallic French people than North Africans are not discriminated against and are completely integrated into society? Right. So it's ultimately their society. And what are we seeing out here? Where is the rioting coming from? It's not even Africans, it's specifically North Africans. And it's
Yes.
the latest wave of refugees that's come from the Syrian civil war and things like that. To note that this entire refugee crisis was created by French interventions in Libya and in Syria. So
Yes.
there's a bit of comeuppance out there as well, but there is this. I don't think it's in any way diluted the very good secular principles and equality of input principles of the French state at all. If anything, we're seeing a doubling down of it because France is very clear about where it comes from, where it wants to go. They're very clear about their identity and their ideology. They're very clear about their substance and salience, what binds them with the rest of Europe, but they're equally clear about their salience, what separates them from the rest of Europe. You don't have to be
Yes.
Francophone to be French. Just because Geneva speaks France does not mean a Swiss French is French. Just because a Walloon or a Bruxellois speaks French does not mean a Belgian is French. So there's a very clear idea of
Yes.
what it is to be French. They have a very clear idea of where they come from. And in
Mm.
fact, I see a doubling down of it. I think these riots in France actually achieve the opposite of what they want to achieve. They make the French state even more conscious of its identity and much more, um, I won't say fundamentalist, but uh, much more rigid on their identity.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.